Okay, so let's just state the obvious. Generative AI is completely changing the game for human resources. It's shifting the focus from just administrative work to really strategic, data-driven leadership. But with all this incredible power comes some pretty big responsibilities. So the real question is, how do we harness this amazing data responsibly? Let's dive in and break down the key principles for doing AI and HR the right way, ethically and effectively.
So we're really stepping into this brand new era. And it's not just about, getting technology to do boring tasks for us anymore. It's about augmenting our own intelligence. Think of it less like replacement and more like a partnership. AI is basically helping HR pros work way faster and a whole lot smarter at every single point in an employee's journey. And this slide, it just perfectly shows the massive leap we're talking about. Over on the left, you've got the old way, traditional analytics, super manual, takes forever, and by the time you get the insights, they're old. But on the right, that's the generative AI world. We're talking real-time analysis, seeing patterns you'd never spot yourself, and getting actual stories from the data, like instantly. We've gone from just staring at spreadsheets to actually understanding the story behind the numbers in minutes. It's a huge difference.
But here's the catch, right? All this incredible power is fueled by some of the most personal information imaginable. We're talking names, salaries, performance reviews, even health data. And that introduces a huge challenge. Because when we start using AI, protecting that data isn't just a tech problem anymore. It becomes a fundamental moral and, legal responsibility.
Okay, so to get through this complex new world, we need a really solid foundation. And that foundation is built on what we're going to call the 4 pillars of trust. These are absolutely essential for making employees feel safe and for making sure we're adopting AI in an ethical way.
All right, pillar number 1 is consent. And look, this isn't about burying some tiny clause in a 100-page contract. Not at all. It's about being crystal clear. Employees have a fundamental right to know exactly how their data will be used by any AI system and to agree to it. It's just non-negotiable.
Next up, we have purpose limitation. And this one is so important. Basically, if you collect data to, say, run payroll, you can't just turn around and feed that same data into a new AI tool that analyzes performance. Not without getting fresh, explicit permission. Every different purpose needs its own thumbs up.
Pillar number 3 is security. Think of this as the technical backbone of the whole thing. We're talking about serious, multi-layered security protocols. Your data has to be encrypted, both when it's just sitting there and when it's being sent somewhere. And access, it has to be locked down to only the people who absolutely positively need it, no exceptions. And that brings us to our final pillar, transparency. This one is all about empowering your people. Employees have a right to know what data about them is being used and how an AI is processing it, especially if it's influencing big decisions about their career. This kind of openness is what takes the mystery out of AI, and it's absolutely critical if you want to build a culture of real trust.
So, here's the ultimate test. Before you roll out any new tool, every single HR leader, every single person involved needs to ask themselves this one simple but really powerful question. If I were the employee, would I feel safe with my personal data in this system? If the answer is anything but a loud, confident yes, well, it's time to go back to the drawing board.
I love this quote because it just nails the mindset shift we need. Employee data isn't just fuel for an algorithm, right? It's a sensitive, confidential asset that we've been entrusted with. Thinking about it that way, it changes everything.
Okay, so how do we take these ideas and make them real? Because these pillars, they're not just abstract concepts. They are literally the foundation of major legal frameworks and corporate governance structures all around the world.
And what's super interesting is when you see how these principles are actually being written into law across the globe. Just look at the EU's GDPR and India's newer DPDP Act. You can see right there they're both built on those same core ideas we just talked about, consent and transparency. This isn't just a little trend in one region. This is becoming the global standard.
So how do you actually make this happen in your organization? You do it by building an AI governance framework. It all starts with setting up clear policies. Then you have to assign accountability, someone like a data protection officer. And from there, it's a constant cycle of monitoring, auditing, and always improving to make sure these systems stay fair and compliant.
And you know what? Companies like IBM are already showing us what this looks like in the real world. They actually created an AI ethics board
that reviews every single HR tool before it gets rolled out. Every tool has to pass these intense fairness and privacy checks, and they keep monitoring them and stay totally transparent with their employees. That's what leading with ethics really looks like in practice.
So, I think the really crucial point here is that this whole journey, it's about way more than just tech and checking boxes for compliance. To really succeed with AI, you need a different kind of leadership, one that knows how to balance all those data-driven insights with real empathy and human-centered values.
This right here is the mantra we all have to keep in our heads. AI enhances, it doesn't replace human judgment. Yeah, AI is an incredibly powerful assistant. It can spot patterns we'd miss, summarize mountains of data, even draft a memo for us. But it's always the HR professional who brings the context, the empathy, and that final crucial human judgment. We have to keep a human in the loop, always.
And this quote? This is your ultimate ethical checkpoint. Technology is always going to move faster than our rules can keep up. This simple idea forces us to just pause, to really weigh what AI can do against our core human values, and think about the real impact it's going to have on people's lives.
So, in the end, this is the big question that every single one of us has a role in answering. The future of work isn't just something that's going to happen to us, it's something we are actively building right now. And by championing responsible AI, we can build a future that's not just more efficient, but one that's more fair, more transparent, and truly worthy of our people's trust.